Hey everybody, I'm Seth Jones, Editor-in-Chief of Golfdom Magazine. I'm very excited to be joined by a fellow Jayhawk and a fellow Chiefs fan. He's the superintendent at Creekmoor Golf Club in Raymore, Missouri. Tim Nielsen. Tim, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Hey, you bet. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So I'm doing this one for our 19th hole page in the magazine. I've never done it on Zoom before, so we'll see how it goes. But my first question always for these interviews is, after 18 holes of golf, what can I get you?
Well, I happen to have it right here, which is a bourbon and club soda. Typically, I also give it a little splash of some tang, believe it or not.
Tang, all right. Well, they still got tang out there, huh? I'll tell you, Tim,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you drink alone. Hold on a second. I'll go grab myself a drink. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Grab a 90 shilling out of the fridge.
There you go.
So
Good deal.
I haven't seen tang in a while. That's still out there, huh?
Well, you know how they have the little little squeezy deals where you can squeeze the flavor into like your water or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those or not.
Yeah.
So Tang makes one. And so I like the Tang a lot. And there's also other flavors like strawberry lemonade and like tropical coconut and stuff like that. So we'll buy those. And my wife and I pretty much drink the same thing. And she doesn't put anything in hers. And well, she typically drinks like Diet 7-Up and bourbon to give it some flavor. But I'm typically just club soda and bourbon and a big splash of Tang.
There you go. Very good.
So it's pretty sweet, but I can go through it pretty quick.
Good. Let's segue into that. Tell me about your wife and your kids.
All right. My wife and I actually just got married a year ago. A previous marriage, who is a senior in high school right now. So bummer for her what's going on right now. Yeah. And then I have two daughters myself. One is 10 years old and the other is about to be 7 here in 2 weeks. So she's not so happy about what's going on as well.
Yeah, I bet. Well, let's talk about your course. Tell me about Creekmoor.
Creekmoor was built so the developer could sell houses around it, and still to this day the houses the course itself opened in 2007, and they've been building houses there since 2005. The recession of 2008 hit the developer pretty hard, but things slowed down quite a bit, and obviously in the last 5 years or so things have really picked up and it's going strong today. But that's the main reason why the golf course is there. The golf course itself is one that the local golf associations, like now they're all one, but the Kansas City Golf Association like to host all their qualifiers, US Open qualifier, web.com qualifier. So it's a difficult course. It's a great track. It's really unique. It's long, very long. Our longest hole, which they call the Beast, is 663 yards with trouble all over the place. So it's a really difficult course. Slope rating of 147. So I think it's the highest slope rated course in Kansas City that's rated, a public course, or that the public can play. So yeah, it's a great course. Really difficult. I think a lot of the better players in town like to come out and play it.
Cool. How's the pandemic been treating you guys at home? Were you guys doing good, not going out as much and hanging out and having all these home cooked meals?
Well, we never really ate out much to begin with. The biggest thing is we actually are having our kitchen redone.
Oh no!
At this very moment. So we're in the 3rd week of that, actually going into the 4th week of having our kitchen completely redone. So that's been the biggest challenge. But I have 2 smokers and a grill in the backyard that have come in really handy.
I bet. That's a lot better than an electric skillet or something, you know.
Well, we have that too. We've been using that as well.
Yep, it's like you
But
guys are on a camp out right now. That's
yeah,
funny.
pretty much. So our dining room is pretty much a kitchen. We moved the old refrigerator in there and the microwave. And so my wife is a great cook. So she can whip anything up in this little electric skillet as well. So we've done okay. And we'll occasionally, you know, go get carry out, but it's pretty rare that we do. So there's a local butcher that does an incredible job. So we load up there and just grill out or smoke meats on weekends and stuff like that. So it's been okay, but it's definitely been a challenge not having a kitchen.
Yeah, I bet. Wow. So I would ask you what sports teams you wrote for, but I already know what some of your sports allegiances. And so my question instead is, do you think it's unfair of me to schedule in back-to-back months fellow Kansas City Chiefs fans for the 19th hole interview? And do you think I can sustain this all year?
Well, before I answer that, Seth, let me tell you, I went to KU and Nebraska. I graduated from Nebraska. Did you know that?
Yeah. I'm okay with that, you know, but you still root for the Jayhawks in basketball season, right?
There are people who are not okay with that, but I gave money, a lot of money to both of those schools, so I feel like I'm okay rooting for them both. So, anyways, when it comes to the Chiefs, I think the biggest problem you're going to have is you're going to have to continue this year after year interviewing Chiefs fans for probably the next 10 years. And you may not be doing, you know, this section of the magazine because you won't have any more superintendents to interview.
That's right. I like your attitude. That is a Chiefs attitude right now. So I'm with you on that. The question isn't, can I sustain it for a year? It's for how many years can I sustain it? Very good.
Yeah, it's for how many years.
Okay. Here's a question. Here's a serious question. Give me one thing that you can most attribute to your career success.
Hiring great assistants. That's an easy one.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
without great assistants, you know, there's no way I could do what I've done.
Good answer.
Simple as that.
Good. Okay. Curious if you've ever had great advice that you maybe professional advice along the way from your younger days coming up into the industry. Anything stick out in your mind?
Yeah, actually, one thing in particular, and it was probably a conversation I had with my dad, probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And so he was a superintendent, but he was a superintendent of schools. And so he answered to a board, and I remember, you know, he was a superintendent of school for a long time. And I think a lot of times superintendents get removed. I would say it's a lot like being a golf course superintendent is a lot like being a school superintendent, where you can have a meeting and then walk out of there without a job.
Yeah.
And one thing that he said, I asked him, well, how have you been able to be in the same place as a superintendent and a principal before that for so long? And he said to me, I keep my mouth shut. So he doesn't, you know, he's basically saying you don't go around giving everyone your opinion all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, instead of opening your mouth, just keep your mouth closed and just listen.
Good.
And so I kind of just taken that with me for my entire career. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm some super opinionated guy that they can't get along with. So I just keep my mouth shut, and it's worked out well for me so far.
Okay, good. Okay, next time I'm up over on that side of Kansas City, what's one spot I should definitely check out?
Well, you know, Kansas City is known for its barbecue, and I'm sure you've been to many barbecue joints in Kansas City, but there's probably one that you haven't been to that has always been one of my, if not my favorite, barbecue restaurants, and it's Brobeck's Barbecue.
Yeah, I've not
Have
heard of
you
that.
been to Brobeck's?
No.
Okay, so it's at basically 103rd and Row. I think it's Row.
Okay.
No, 103rd and Knoll. Sorry. Roughly 103rd and Knoll, just south of 103rd. And so they sit you down and they ask you if you've been there before. And when you say no, they bring you a sample of their ham salad. And so they've got this smoked ham salad that is just incredible. And they'll serve it to you on their homemade potato chips.
Uh-huh.
But you can also get it in a sandwich, and you can take it in big tubs to go. And so if you're ever this way, go to Brobeck's. They've got great barbecue, but try the ham salad at Brobeck's.
Okay, good. Yeah, I did not expect that one. Good. I like when it's an answer I don't know about, especially since I'm from your area here. Okay, you said that your wife's a really good cook. What's your go-to? What have you been whipping out in the? Have you whipped out anything in the electric skillet, or is it all out in the smoker and the grill? And what's your coronavirus specialty meal that you've done?
Well, yeah, she mainly cooks everything inside. I mainly cook everything outside. And so I'd say my favorite thing to cook right now is just a brisket. And so, and wings. Those are my two favorite things to cook.
Yeah. We'll have to talk some more about some wings. I need some advice on some wings. That's been something I've been jonesing for since I haven't been able to go out to, Henry T's in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got what's called a pit barrel cooker, and I also have a pit barrel cooker I bought for $300 about 7 or 8 years ago, right? And I've had it forever, and I decided I wanted to buy a Traeger 2 years ago, and so I bought a Traeger. Traegers aren't cheap, and I hardly ever cook on the Traeger. This pit barrel cooker is the best thing I've ever cooked on. And everybody loves every piece of meat that comes off of it.
And what's it called again?
Even wings. It's called a pit barrel cooker.
Does it have a brand name or anything, or is that?
That's the brand name.
Okay.
So it's made by a guy who is a veteran, an Army veteran out of, I think he was out of Loveland, Colorado, somewhere, or Denver area. And I was wanting a new smoker at the time. I was using an electric smoker at the time. And I asked him, or I Googled like low cost smokers or whatever. And I was just reading everyone's reviews, and someone said that this is the best one. And so I bought it. And at the time you had to buy it directly from him because he was making them himself, like at his farm.
Wow.
And so I bought it from him. And I've been smoking on it ever since. And since then, like within the last year, he started selling them in all the Westlake Ace Hardwares.
Oh, cool.
And you could get them on Amazon as well. But what's neat about it is it's a charcoal smoker where you drop a pan of hot charcoal down into the cooker, and you hang the meat over the charcoal from hooks.
Okay. And
so the juices from the meat more or less create the humidity inside of the smoker. And I'm telling you what, it is the best tasting smoked meat you've ever had. And all you have to use is the original Kingsford charcoal.
Oh, wow.
In the blue and red and white bags. And it's just amazing.
Oh, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, $300.
Perfect. Good investment.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't tell the people about Traeger what you said though.
No, don't. Well, I'm sure they're making they're making enough money the way it is.
Yeah, they're doing just fine. All right,
yeah.
Tim, what's your favorite tool in the shop?
The TDR 300 moisture meter.
Cool.
Easily.
Why?
When I want to tell those guys, I want to tell Spectrum when they came out with the 350 and stopped making the 300 that they pretty much ruined my life. because the 300 is exactly what we need. It's super simple. Anyone can use it. It's really lightweight, but the 350 is bulky and cumbersome and slower, and but they don't sell the TDR 300 anymore. So I've got 8 moisture meters, and 6 of them are the TDR 300s, and nobody wants to take the 350s out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's your collector's classic right there. Don't let someone slip yours out of your cart, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. Hopefully they continue making, occasionally they break or something goes wrong with the computer or whatever, and hopefully they continue to service them, and because I'll use these for as long as I possibly can, because they're just so simple.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And one last thing about those, they've changed my career. Whereas before we were syringing greens, till 5 or 6 o'clock at night, just trying to cool them down, thinking we were doing the right thing. And now we may leave the course on a 100-degree day at 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon, because we know where the greens are at, and we're fine with it. And we go home and we sleep easy, and we come back and they're fine.
Nice.
Since we've mastered the use of those things, I bet I've cut 10 to 15 hours a week off my work schedule. It's been incredible.
You can't put a price tag on that. Getting home at a decent hour.
No, it's great. It's
cool.
Great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Put it in there, but let's talk about just real quick on the Jayhawks. How'd you feel about them going into the tournament this year? What was your thoughts?
Oh, I thought they had a real good shot. I mean, I felt like they had all the pieces. They had the best point guard. They had the best big guy. They had the best defender. I thought that they had all the pieces to do it. I don't know if they were as good as shooters as previous teams, previous Jayhawk teams, even the teams that, obviously just lost in the Sweet 16 or whatever. I don't know if they were as good as shooters, but I think they may have been a better team. What makes me sad is that Dotson decided to leave. So, but I think they got some good guys coming in.
Yeah.
As far as I know. So.
Well, think of this too, is what I've kind of considered, because I was thinking, is there a chance, like going into March Madness, I was thinking, is there, if the Jayhawks win this thing and the Chiefs are the Super Bowl champs and the Jayhawks are the national champions, how crazy is that going to be? And then I was thinking, and Gary Woodland's U.S. Open champion, reigning U.S. Open champion.
Yeah.
That would have just been probably too much awesomeness. We couldn't have I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I would have been a jerk to everybody.
Yeah. We had our plane tickets and hotel ready to go in Atlanta. We were headed down there, and so that kind of stinks. We were just gonna get tickets from whoever was, walking, whatever the losing team there was, or just try and scout tickets and go down there. But obviously that didn't work out. But we were ready to go. We thought we were going to Final Four. Yep.
I did too. Well, hey Tim, I appreciate you taking the time to catch up with me here, and appreciate you doing a Zoom call. I know it's a little different, but now we knocked it out. So, okay. Well, hey Tim, we'll be in touch. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks a lot.